Hello and hey, today we're messing around with Golf with Your Friends. This time going to be the Pirate Cove Classic Guide, updated for 2020, the officially released version 1.14, all that fun stuff. If I've missed any shots, I'm sure they will appear down in the comments, or I will leave one myself, etc., etc. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the shots. Hey now, hole number one. There is an interesting mark on this tile. We're going to go ahead and aim right at it. Go just above 2 and like an eighth power. The power can be a little bit specific, but we have that easy point of aim to aim at. It's one of the tougher hole ones of the game, but I'm sure you'll work at it and get it no problem. Hole 2 could be a little tricky. As you can see, this is my third attempt at the shot. I like to kind of bring it in here, and I'm going for the dunk. I just shot it off the back of the cup twice in a row. So this is a very, very specific power. If you need to look at that, go for it. Otherwise, go full power a little bit to the right, and you'll be able to just come back with an easy or simple 2. Hole number 3, I like to go just left of center at full power to give us a little bit of a better angle, both for these like steering wheels and to kind of bounce off this far steering wheel at a better trajectory towards the hole. Kind of just barely get in, needed to go a little bit to the left to center that cup up, but 2 and like 4/5 power was perfect just where it was. Hole 4, there's a little mark on this tile 2 up the hill. You want to go just left of that at full power, obviously when the fins aren't in your way, and call it a hole in one. Hole number 5, I got a little crazy with the camera. You want to get the right side of your cursor to match up with this little white dot on the left wall. I didn't think it was possible to miss, but I did on the first one, so please don't do like I did. Pay attention to where the right part of your cursor is. Line it up. Hole 6, there's kind of a weird part that sticks up on the farther plank. You're going to just under 3 power, aiming directly at that little sticking up part. It's not ultra specific. You can even go 3 power itself. You'll just get really close to that edge. And obviously, you just want to give ourselves the biggest cushion that we possibly can, as long as it's still going to go in. Hole 7. I want to aim just a couple tiles up this hill right at the corner. Going just under 3 power. We want to hit both the back wall and that little curved, rounded plank thing, because it gives us a little extra boost to get down the hill and down into the bowl. Hole 8, there's like a little bit of a jagged line over here on the right. This like sort of light, almost white line. Go full power. I do think a hole in one is probably possible. However, have not found it just yet, just because of how close the hole is to the start and it's downhill and all that stuff. It's probably coming. But the second shot will aim at the crease in the wall at 1.5 power. Pretty simply, just fades into the bowl for the hole in one. Hole in one? That's a hole in 2. Try again. Hole number 9, again, maybe a hole in one possible, but we're going to do a very simple 2. I'm going to aim right at this dark line on the wall, full power. It'll get us into an easy shot at the next bowl. Usually like to go about 1 power into these bowls like this, just to kind of guarantee that we don't do anything silly. Easy bird. Hole 10, we're going to play nice and easy on the first shot again. Want to go just above 1 power and making sure that we don't hit the center block, but kind of going near it. This doesn't have to be super specific. You just don't want to go up, on one of the sides or anything like that, because all we're doing is going about 2.5 power towards the middle, and that will correct us in no matter what way we do it because of that bowl at the bottom. Hole 11. There's a little mark here on the ground. We want to get that covered up with the right side of our cursor at full power. We'll just kind of edge down into that bowl for another hole in one on a surprisingly hole-in-oneable course. Hole 12 can be very tricky. It's coming down to timing basically exclusively. You just have to let it go. It's almost a feel thing. I don't count. I don't say anything. You want to get scooped up just as your ball's about to lose power. You'll just have barely enough power to creep into the bowl up on top Otherwise, when you're stuck down below, if you get down to the very, very bottom, you have to get like 3 power to jump back over as kind of a backup strat. Hole 13, we want to aim at this pretty much exact spot with this much power. I'd also think a hole-in-one is possible here. We may even have to revert to some of the old crazier strats. However, do not have it at this point in time. Kind of pressed for time trying to make all these guys as quickly as possible. Hopefully down in the comments someone has figured that out. And there's just an easy 2 in the meantime if you find the hole-in-one to be too difficult, if that exists. Hole 14, we want to get the right side of our cursor, kind of bringing up with the overhang of the left side of those logs there. That'll get us down a couple of different ramps as these moving platforms will appear in our view. And for this, we want to go about 2.5 power and wait for the second one of these to come up. So 1, 2 release. You should always make it every single time, unless you're obviously playing on a different region with a much larger ping, then adjust as necessary, but it's worked for me every single time. Hole 15, we got a weird full power shot. There's kind of a weird marking 2 tiles up here. It'll end up being pretty close to the hole either way. If you miss it by a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, it'll get you pretty close here. Let's go ahead and show off the other one if we can. Actually, might be the same one again. And it is. Apologies for that. Apologies for that. Go ahead and get down to the other hole. Go a little bit right of the mark. So a hole-in-one again, probably possible here. You do or would need to tweak that ever so slightly, which would be completely feasible. So I look forward to seeing that shot as well, if it can be improved. Hole 16, straightforward, full power. This was the strat, and it's even nicer now because we just stay up on top of here thanks to the deadening ground effect that's kind of been added to the game. And from here, we want to go exactly 3 power. If you go a little bit more, you have a chance to pop out of the bowl. Go a little bit less, you might not make it up that hill. So just be a little bit more careful than you think you might need to be. 3 power up that hill. 17, let's kind of show off a random shot. Hopefully we can get like the lucky way, but either way, we're going to back out. There is a tube that we're trying to get into, obviously. It is that one. It is not connected to any of the holes directly. And because of that fact, we're going to go ahead and reset. And it left me with my power. That was weird. All right, reset. We're going to go 2 power. Seems kind of silly. We're going to go just right here. Maybe just the slightest bit right of where we are. I'm going to be safe, though, and go left like I am. Let go. It gets us past that wooden block, and you'll kind of tell by this line where we're at. We need to jump twice to get over this log, and we just ride it out from here. And it seems a little bit silly if you can just go down these things. You have to do all these specific things to kind of get it. It's just way safer. It's possible to get the hole-in-one. I think we're a little bit, we're too far left to get it. We're going to be super, super close. But this is just in case you're afraid of getting on like the farthest left and having to really struggle to get over here. It's not very fun. So this is just like a free 2, and it's not that hard to really dial it in. So just going to show that off again. A consistent one would just be pixel perfect, and that's just the safer strat. Hole 18, a 2 would be possible. Again, it would need like super pixel perfect strategies combined with timing on the second one. So we're going to go ahead and show you an easy 3. Always go full power a little bit right, that way we can bounce off this log. Come back. I'm going to scroll out a little bit. That was 5 scrolls for anybody interested. We'll go full power, making sure that we're not going to get slapped before we release. The tentacle behind us can slap us. Usually it just keeps us in place, though. Like that, similar. We want to go just above 2 power and at least a tile to the right of the spot we need to get to at the top. And again, we're just going to shoot when we think that we're not going to get slapped by the tentacle, and that is going to be that course. So I know that a lot of those seem like I didn't give you the exact shot. It's either because I don't know it, or it'll be so much more difficult to do than the simple strat that I showed you that it basically won't be worth doing, especially if you're going for those power achievements, which was suggested to me a few times in the comments. So I appreciate people saying that stuff. But other than that, I don't think too many things to say. Pirate Cove is actually surprisingly fun with the kind of deadened physics. It feels a little less, I don't know, is it wild? I guess I'll say. Before I ramble, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. I appreciate you guys, so thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be safe, guys.